Have you read about putting type 2 diabetes into remission? Fancy giving it a go? Or were you put off by what you've read online or in the paper, that it can be really tough to achieve? Before we start, you can't reverse type 1 diabetes. It's only type 2 that we're talking about. Let's have a look.
When you start, you feel you can't do without the food. You feel you can't eat, oh, I can't do without them chocolate. Oh, I can't do without stopping having chips. Oh, I can't do without going down the pie and mash. I know I can do without them. Big time can do without them.
Keith is 5 weeks into a year-long remission programme at the Homerton Hospital in North London.
Counterweight Plus is a programme to help people with type 2 diabetes achieve remission, so normal blood glucose levels without medication. So really the aim is getting people off medication and achieving loss of weight loss to get them into remission.
Some people might be losing this every week, so some of the lower weighted people, but some people are losing 2 kilos, this is 2 kilos, or perhaps 3 or 4 kilos.
I had a belly hanging over and this is only after 5 weeks, so I don't know what I'm going to look like at the end of it.
You can see I've got less of a tummy now and my face is slimmer. Definitely I can see the difference in 3 weeks and I feel better as well.
For some people, type 2 diabetes can be put into remission by losing 15 kilos within 3 to 5 months. But doing that on your own without support can be hard.
There's 3 stages. The first stage is total dietary replacement, where we put people on shakes, and that's 4 shakes a day, and it equals about 800 calories. So people achieve a lot of weight loss in that first 12 weeks on the shakes. Then they move on to food reintroduction, where we gently reduce the shakes and introduce meals. And then there's 7 months of weight maintenance, where we see them every month to help them stay weight stable and stay in remission.
Rest assured, it does get easier to not feel that temptation to nibble. Do you want butter on your crackers, Dad? You do find that you feel satisfied with the shakes. I'm not saying you still won't be tempted, you will, but it does get easier as time goes on, definitely.
In the first week, I was very hungry, but my motivation to try and get rid of the diabetes absolutely 1,000,000% outweighed any sort of hunger pains or anything I was going to do that might spoil the chance of putting my diabetes into remission.
A reminder of what's going on with type 2 diabetes. You eat carbohydrates, that's sugar and starches, like cereals and bread. They're the food group that your body uses as fuel. To use that fuel, the pancreas produces a chemical called insulin. Think of it as the key that opens your cells to let energy in. But when you have type 2 diabetes, the keys stop working properly, and your body might not be able to make enough of the insulin keys it needs. Energy is locked out, builds up in the bloodstream, and you'll feel tired. As the weight comes off, people often start to feel better.
I do feel I've got so much more energy.
I feel not so out of breath when I'm walking.
It's a real thrill and a real buzz to see people doing really well. And then just saying like, oh, my back feels better, or my eyes feel better, or, you know, how just they have so much more energy. It's really, you know, and you kind of like, this is why I became a dietitian. This is what, you know, this is what being a healthcare professional is all about.
My cholesterol levels have come right down. I'm feeling confident this is going to put me into remission.
A low-calorie diet based on meal replacement drinks appears to prompt the body to remove the fat that's clogging up the liver and pancreas, helping to wake up the insulin-producing cells and putting type 2 diabetes into remission. We call it remission because if you put weight back on and your liver and pancreas get fatty again, the type 2 diabetes is likely to come back.
Since I've started this, I really do think about what I have eaten, what I've eaten before. And, you know, I would eat like 3 sausage rolls. I can't eat just 1 bar of chocolate. I'd have to eat I'd buy a pack of 4 Mars bars and I would eat all of them. There you go. I would buy a packet of 6 crisps. I'd eat all 6 packets. And I'm not saying over a period of days, I would eat that in a day.
I don't need to be eating all the crap I was eating, which was like untold rubbish. Like I said, sweets, cakes, you name it, takeaways, all bad stuff. When I do go back to eating, I'm definitely going to eat, you know, fish, chicken, things I like anyway, which I should have been eating, which I made the mistakes of eating just the wrong stuff. And that's why people get diabetes, because they eat loads of the wrong stuff. You know, you can't do that, can you?
The difference here is that you need to have that support to think about food afterwards, so that the lifestyle adapts long term, and that takes support. You know, it can't happen just taking shakes for 12 weeks.
It's about learning, reflecting, making mistakes, learning, reflecting and going back again. So, you know, it's ongoing. You know, you're undoing habits that have been learned over so many decades.
How can you work out whether low-calorie meal replacements are right for you? In some parts of the UK, you can try it with the support of a diabetes nurse or dietitian. In other areas, there are weight management programmes. But wherever you live, understanding more about what's involved will help you make the right decisions and give you the best chance of putting your type 2 diabetes into remission.
When we're in the group, people are struggling, and all I say to them is, if you have got a chance to change your life, put yourself into remission, make life better for you, live a longer life, live a happier life, I'm giving myself the absolute best chance to kick out my diabetes.
Tune in next week to see how June and Keith are getting on.
I ate a whole packet of shortbread biscuits.